everyone who knows you is also aware that one of your most important works is the Arcades project, an unfinished project that was supposed to trace the emergence and development of shopping arcades and department stores in the 19th century. But it is hardly known how you actually came up with the idea of this project.
Like so many things, this is actually a childhood theme. Uh, in any case, I once admitted to Siegfried Krakauer that this project is very close to my toy interests. Obviously, shopping arcades are those places, those spaces, those architectures in which the wealth of capitalist societies appears as an immense collection of commodities, as Marx put it. But as a child, to me, this immensity was also something wonderful, magical, and infinitely attractive, especially at Christmas.
Okay, so this brings you back to the Berlin Toy Tour, the radio show for children in which you talked about the big department stores in Berlin and the tempting offers and performances they came up with, especially before the holidays?
Exactly. These galleries of dolls, animals, electric trains, and party games. I lived them as charmed attractions, but also as magic galleries. And this not only as a child, but equally and perhaps even especially as an adult. I was particularly fascinated by the galleries in the large Berlin department store whose name I was not allowed to mention in the radio broadcast at the time, but which of course was the KaDeWe.
What was there to see back then?
Oh, today this is all very common, but in the 1920s it was still new and exciting. Unlike the specialized toy stores, the large department stores had plenty of space to put out their giant tables so that nothing remained hidden, and anyone with eyes got to look at everything that would otherwise be stowed away in closets and crates.
So, what was on display?
I mentioned the dolls and the optical toys, flipbooks and zootropes in our last conversation. Then there was the gallery of animals. It's hard to describe the sorts of animals I came across there. Blue and pink dogs, horses, so yellow that from afar they looked like shapes made of orange peel, apes and rabbits so artificially colored as to resemble the tulips the flower ladies sell at Potsdamer Platz. Not to mention Felix the cat, who was available in large quantities, and the tiny Bibabo puppets, which you can slip over your fingers, as the nice sales lady did, before putting on the most indescribable little theater piece. After that came the gallery with party games, then the one with mechanical building sets, followed by the gallery with music boxes, and so on and so forth.
Okay, I see. So that really fascinated you. But how is it connected to the Arcades project?
Well, for one thing, because toys and dolls were part of the world of shopping arcades in the 19th century. But to be honest, there weren't really that many affordable toys at the time. On the other hand, because the collection of commodities that capitalism appears as is not only immense, or as Marx says in German, ungeheuer, which actually means uncanny. At the same time, this uncanny collection of commodities unfolds as striking magic that continues to fascinate us all, as if we were children.
You mean the fascination that commodities exert, while capitalism continues to widen the differences between the rich and the poor?
Which becomes especially clear at Christmas. On this topic, you should read the piece on the Christmas angel in my Berlin childhood book.
I will, but above all, I will now see the Arcades project in a slightly different light every time I go to KaDeWe.
If you say so.
Merry Christmas!
Yeah, you too. Man, that was pretty cheesy.
Well, it's Christmas.